This is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. BetOnline is your number one source for all your football betting action. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, and even live in-game betting. From every NFL game and college game to Major League Baseball, UFC, and NHL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering info. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. In between games, head over to BetOnline's casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "It's all about the journey, not the destination." A nice sentiment, though I'd argue he never had to take a family road trip in a car with no air conditioning, 2 kids fighting in the back seat, and Baby Shark blasting on the radio. Still, there's truth in it. The roads we travel, the discoveries we make, and the strangers we meet along the way often leave a bigger mark than the destination ever does. And for more than a century, one unlikely figure has tagged along on those journeys. A plump man, made entirely of tires, urging people to drive further, eat better, and dream bigger. It all started with 2 brothers in France tinkering in a workshop full of rubber scraps, who believed that travel wasn't only about getting somewhere, but about freedom. Whether on clip-clop, or bicycle, or car, their inventions kept wheels spinning. Their little red book told you where to stop, and their stars, 3 if you were very, very lucky, became one of the most coveted honors in dining. There's no doubt they would agree with old Ralphie, and it showed in their life's work. Life is short, enjoy the trip. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Michelin.
We're all jazzed up, nearly having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on, it's on, it's on, it's on Brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa. I'm Jon.
I'm Marisa.
Oh, okay. This couldn't be more timely as I got...
I love when that happens.
got new tires yesterday.
That was definitely on my mind when I was working on this episode. Tires are in our personal zeitgeist right now.
Last Saturday, I'm cruising down the 101.
Blasting the new Sabrina Carpenter?
Yeah, I was listening to the new Sabrina Carpenter
Great.
last weekend. It's pretty good. I don't know.
Do you
well
drive
enough
with a little silk scarf tied under your chin?
I do. I have a convertible, a 1950s Chevy convertible.
You are Lucy.
I have a Volkswagen. Headed to Sherman Oaks to buy a video game.
What?
And
wait, no. Wait. What? Video game? What are you talking about?
I wanted a video game.
What video game?
I wanted a Mario Galaxy for the Switch, which is like they
Do you have a Switch?
I do.
Since when?
Last Black Friday.
Wait, you didn't tell me you got a Switch. Since when you have a Switch?
I know. I never told you because I couldn't handle the ridicule.
Do you play on the Switch?
I don't. I haven't even opened it yet, but I'm going to.
Mint in box, MIB.
Mint in box, and I really want to play Mario Galaxy, and for some reason they only released it for a short time. Now it's hard to get, and you have to look on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
Finally found a guy who's selling it for a decent price. Drive over there Saturday.
When you open the box with just a piece of bread in there, I feel like Facebook Marketplace is Scamsville.
It does feel very it's I feel like I'm writing a 13-year-old, hey, I'm interested, is this still around? And they don't write you for a couple days.
And they dupe you to high heavens. I'll be selling something, not even trying to buy something where I'll be giving money. I'll be a table, $40, immediately post 800 messages in your inbox. Everyone's like, great, where can I pick up the table? Oh, this is perfect. We just moved. We need a table. You're like, oh, this is a real person. And then they're like, my text messaging doesn't work. Can you add me on WhatsApp? And I'm like, how is this? What is the scam here? I'm buying a table from you. How are you going to scam me out of? But you go down the road and then it's some little WhatsApp. What is happening on that app?
What is happening? I get so many. Everyone's trying to lure me to WhatsApp. Now they just send texts hey, did you forget to pick me up from the airport? I'm like, And now I just
It's
don't.
a scam.
I used to
Yeah.
like answer them because I was
Sure.
like, I'm gonna mess with you, and then it's like you're in it for like 6 days, and then it's like, wait, have I fallen for it? Like now I have feelings for this person.
Yes, you would fall for it.
I do fall for it, but
Shady
yeah.
as hell.
And now the new one, if I get so many emails about my shipment, like is delayed, like they gotta they need my info because they gotta redirect it. They try to
I
deliver
almost
it.
fall for those because Lord knows I'm shopping.
Lord knows it. But it's always from it's like Best Buy, like the
Sure.
it is places I don't go, or they're
Yeah.
like your T-Mobile phone is stuck
Or
in
even
transit.
like it'll be Amazon, but there'll be like a space on other side of the period. It'll be like space period. If you see space
If you see-
period space, this is not a Fortune 500 company.
And if the fonts are at all fuzzy, they gotta be crisp.
Yeah, they got.
And if you hit reply and then look at the email that it's going to go to, and if it's like a bunch of numbers, like
at hotmail.com.
at hotmail.com, if it's not like customer service at Best Buy
Sure.
whatever, you're being scammed.
You're being scammed.
You're being
yeah.
scammed.
So you did not get scammed. You bought Mario Galaxy.
Was going to, and then my tire exploded
Very scary.
on the freeway. And I mean,
Wait, I didn't know it happened on the freeway.
on the 101.
That's
so I
really
get on the
scary.
101 and I like hit a couple small little nothings, but they felt hard. And I'm like, this doesn't feel right. So then I started to like.
Was there behind you in the rearview mirror? Was there a man going like, "Hey"?
Yeah, there was. I mean, actually, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's get to it now because then the next day I had my donut on and I had to go to get the video game.
Wait, okay.
Long story. I didn't even get that one. That one sold. I had to get a different one, and I had to drive really far. But I had the donut on my car
How far?
to Brentwood Whole Foods.
Oh my God! You can only drive so far on a donut.
I know, and you could only,
Only go
50
below
miles
50.
an hour.
Oh, God.
So I was like, okay, I'll take surface streets, and I'm like, oh, it's like 40 minutes on surface streets or 20 minutes on the freeway.
Wow, the lengths you went through to get a game rivaled the twists and turns of the game itself.
By the way, I'm
just-
sweating right now. I always sweat on the pod. I'm wearing if you're watching on YouTube, I have a thick rag under
Why
my
did you
shirt.
wear an undershirt?
I don't listen. Who knows? Because being really hot and the idea of wearing 2 shirts doesn't feel great.
Well, right now, honey, you're wearing a towel.
Anyway, so I go to Brentwood. That guy ended up being really nice. Bought the game for cheaper than I was even going to.
Great.
Literally
I love
only $9 over market. Where honestly, people are selling this game on eBay for like $100, $150.
That's what you should do.
Probably. No, I really have been itching to play Mario Galaxy. I'm trying to get back to the mid 2000s. I want to head back to
The
2005.
last good time.
But yeah, blew out a tire. Is that all this story was going to be? Blew out the tire. Oh, so I'm driving with the donut on to go get the game the next day.
Homer is chasing you down.
No, but this is on brand. There's some mean lady.
Oh no.
So I'm like in the slow lane, driving with my hazards on.
Okay, just to say like I have something going on.
Something's happening,
Yes,
guys.
yes.
I'm announcing that something's happening. Staying at 50 miles an hour,
Sure.
and someone honks at me.
I mean,
and
you
like,
could have a wife in labor in the passenger seat. Like, do not judge. If somebody has hazards on,
If
they're driving
someone has
slow.
hazards on-
People are driving you should not honk at slow drivers ever because people are driving as slow as they need to. Okay?
okay. Well, then again, yesterday I'm driving and the tall tale is if you're at a red light and it changes and they don't go and then you're like beep beep and then like you see them, they're like reading, they're like they're swiping.
They have a full newspaper.
They've got Grindr open, they have maps, so like they're
Sure,
distracted.
sure.
So
That's
that's
not
not always
good,
the
yeah.
case. But I do feel bad when I get mad at someone who's slow and then I go past them and it's like a 100-year-old person.
You do not want a bad driver driving faster. If they're driving as fast as they can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got honked at. What'd you do?
No, what am I going to do? I couldn't chase her like I normally would because I could only go 50. It was the perfect crime. There was nothing I could do.
You should bully people with donuts because it's easy to get away.
You know what I actually do when people do things like that?
What?
I think to my head, first, I'm like, man, it's like, how mean do I want my thoughts to be? And initially, I'm like, do I want them to die? And I'm like, John, you don't want anyone to die.
John.
And then I'm like, do I want them to wreck? And I'm like, oh God, no, I don't want anyone to get super hurt. But then, so in my head, I'm like, I hope you have a really bad day.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah, I'd argue she already is having a bad day because she's honking.
Honking.
And so I think she's stressed out.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
God.
listen, this is all, who cares? This is all done and
Sure.
good. There was some electrifying news.
Oh my God.
In our community this
Okay,
week.
tell me.
And you may already know, there was chatter about it on our Discord. I tried to dissuade you from looking at it. But so last week I did the Hostess episode.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, if you're a longtime listener of the pod, a long time ago, I reached out to Hostess. My favorite snack that they make is Susy Q's. And I had reached out to them to see if they were like going to come back. It was actually I have it written down, on August 24th, 2023.
Wow.
Was the first time I reached out to them.
You've mentioned this on previous episodes as well.
I've mentioned it on previous episodes. And I reached out to them just saying I couldn't find them. And I kind of knew that they must have been discontinued because Ralph's had them in their like weird little grocery section by the bathroom.
Yeah.
Where it's like everything's half off.
Hey, you're on your way out from taking a piss. Why don't you buy some old muffins?
Yeah. Do you want to stand here and shop as the bathroom, in LA, the most disgusting bathroom keeps opening and closing?
Yes.
While people that have struggles are trying to figure out the code and like it's just not where you want to spend much time.
No.
And I think I've bitched about this on the show before. Everything's half price, but all of a sudden they say the original price was 7 times more than original. They're like, this cereal's half off. Just so you know, it used to be $27.
Classic scam.
I'm like, whatever. It makes me crazy.
So you've seen Susy Q's there.
I had seen them there.
Knew
so I knew
they were heading to the
I was in
food
denial.
factory.
And if you remember, just to refresh your memory, the reply I got back from Hostess was, thank you for your inquiry. We're sorry that you haven't been able to find Hostess chocolate Susy Q's. Unfortunately, we've had to discontinue that particular item. We know how disappointing it is to find a product that suits your taste only to have it move off the market. And when you say market, that's when I know you're not talking to a human.
Sure.
Like, we don't say market.
We don't say market.
We're like, sorry you couldn't find it at Ralph's or whatever.
This is a robot.
This is a robot. Several customers have voiced similar views, and we are...
Several. So like 4 to 7?
I think
Or
like
you think-
25 to 70, depending on this is based on the Earth's population, so
Sure,
yeah.
it is a percentage, as we know. Several is 10%.
And this is where I had a glimmer of hope. We are forwarding your concerns to the bakery manager in your area and our executive management team. Okay.
I wonder if you could get their phone numbers, their direct email.
Listen, let's ride this journey out.
Great.
So this is 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I hear nothing. So in January of 2024, I've given it 5 months. I checked back in and I was just like, hey, Happy New Year. Let's start off like, we're all in this together. New year, new me.
Sure, yeah.
I'm circling back to see if there has been any movement on the return of chocolate
I like
Susy
using
Q's.
corporate lingo
Me
to the
too.
robot because then they're like, you're one of us.
You're
I
one
can
of
give
us.
you the real scoop.
Let's put a pin in this
Sure.
synergy between me and Susy Q. And then I go on to say, I'm curious what the response was from the bakery manager. Have you heard anything from the executive management team? Since several customers have voiced similar concerns as me, I'm cautiously optimistic that 2024 will see the return of this iconic snack. Looking forward to your reply. Best, John. What do they write me back? The exact same reply I had gotten 6 months earlier.
Word for word.
Word for word, but with a different robot name. Like this time it's like
Bleep blorp.
Cat. No, this is Cat. That's such a robot name.
They should be like Crank and like
Crank
Bolty
and
and like,
Beep Bop.
yeah, reveal that they're a little bit of a bot.
All right, so they get the exact same thing. And so I let it go. I don't think about it anymore. I really am
Sure.
like, nothing's going to happen with this.
We're moving on.
So I do the Susy Q's episode. I do a ton of research. I'm on that website. When I was on the website, I was like, let's just look. For the record, back in 2 years ago, Susy Q's were still on the website. When I was doing my research last week, they were no longer even mentioned.
Okay.
Because you can, any product website, you can click on our products, you can click on like where to find, all those things. So it doesn't exist. And it didn't even really enter my head to like write them to keep the bit going until after we did the show. But then it did. So earlier this week, I think on Wednesday, I was like, you know what? This will be fun for next week's show. I'm going to check in with
Follow up
Hostess.
again.
Hopefully they'll write me back in the next 2 days. We're recording on Friday. Let's hope I'll get the same reply and we'll keep this bit going.
Sure.
But I was going to handle it a little differently. I'm now coming in as a new character.
Okay, I love that. Hi, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Maurice, and I recently moved to the States from Sri Lanka.
No, I lived here as a child, and when I was young, one of my favorite things was biting into the moist, chocolatey cake of a Susy Q. No. So this is what I said to them on Wednesday. Hi! Exclamation point. I want the robot to know I'm like, just happy. Hi.
Put your blaster down. I am a friend.
Yeah, we're in this together, Beep Bop. I am having a hard time finding Susy Q snack cakes anywhere! Exclamation point. I don't even see them on your website. I don't want to get sentimental about it, but I named my daughter Susie after your cakes. Can you tell me if they are available or will be soon? I'd also love to find any merch if you have any lying around. Let me know. Thanks, John.
The robot's going to be like, You know, there was that big promotion we did with the radio station where we buried the radio host.
Yeah, like
in a pile of Susy Q's. And we have some t-shirts to commemorate it. 102.7 Susy Q's.
Susy Q. But it's just on the pocket, which is my
Sure, which
least
is your
favorite
least
tee.
favorite,
God,
yes,
I hate. Or the
okay.
big graphics on the back. Yeah, I'm thinking, listen, I'm not going to get the cakes anymore. Let's clear out the warehouse. There's got to be something.
Warehouse.
Give me a standee.
Lying around.
Give me something. We'll
Sure.
use it on the pod. Okay, so this is Wednesday. Wednesday, as everybody knows, is Insta Egg Day. I dropped the Insta Egg for Hostess. So everyone's guessing Hostess, Hostess, Hostess. Then one of our listeners, Jim Sargent, Sargent, hits me up and he guessed Hostess. And then he's like, oh, and Susy Q's are back. You did it. And I was like, what?
I love you getting full credit, undisputed.
I'm like, Jim, what are you talking about?
Wow.
He's like, they were added back to the website 1 day ago.
How did he know that?
First of all, how does he know that?
Is
Has
he like
been
hacking
checking
into
that?
the back end?
I didn't want to ask him. This is an ally of the show.
It is a rare freak, too, to be able to break such a whopper of news to you.
To me.
Because you think you would have like Google alerts. You're on the case.
I think he said that. I think he was like,
Wow.
I can't believe that I'm the one telling you this. And I was like,
Crazy.
I was like, Jim, you don't understand.
You don't understand.
I literally wrote them 1 hour ago.
Wow.
I researched them for the last 2 weeks. It was not on the website when I
Interesting.
did my research, blah, blah, blah. So I'm freaking out. Then I start to do some digging. I look on the website. It is back on the website. There is 2 products. They have a box of 5 called Mega Susy Q's. These big ass Susy Q's.
Wow.
And then the
double stuff, double wide.
who knows? It's like a hoagie of Susy
Oh my
Q's.
God.
And then these individual wrapped ones. And so I'm like, I can't believe this. And then I click on the find the product feature. It says nowhere in my area either. And I'm like, well, they probably just added it. It hasn't even called. I'm like sweating more than normal.
You're calling like Transpo, the trucking dispatch. Are they on the truck? Where are they going to be dropped off?
Yeah, I'm like, is there any way? You know how like
Breaker,
FedEx,
breaker, 4-5, Susy Q's in the rig.
the Q has landed. The Queen has landed. I like buy a
You in a Walmart employee costume, like back at the shipping parking garage, where you're like, back it up, boys, back it up.
and I just have my mouth open. Like, what's he doing?
You're gonna want to load those right in here,
Big
and
load-
they do it.
Big load today, boys.
That's awesome.
So that was very exciting news. So I start looking into it. I look on the website. I see all the things. And I was like, you know what? I was like, going to email them. I was like, then I got panicked. I was like, I just wrote them that dumb like thing. And I can't reach out to
Need
them
a
now.
new character.
They're
New
going to be like,
character,
wait,
new
are you the
character."
one that named your daughter? I'm like, who? Like, what's happening? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to call them.
Oh, great.
So I called Hostess. Answered very quickly. A lovely...
A real person?
A real person answered it Hostess, not Smuckers, who now owns Hostess.
Hostess, thanks for calling. This
Yeah.
is Marge.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Marge. And then I tell him the whole thing. I'm like, listen, so this is really funny. I host a podcast. This week, we have an episode coming out on Hostess. And I was like, it's been a running thing, how much I miss the Susy Q's. And like, one of our listeners just told me they're back and I'm on your website.
Is she like on board listening, or is she like?
She's just listening.
She's just listening.
So
okay.
I was like, I was like, I just want to know, are Susy Q's back? And she's like, can I put you on hold for a second? And I was like, okay, good. I don't know if this is...
CEO of Hostess. May I ask who's calling?
You've reached Susie. Wait, why does Susy talk like that?
Our first guest,
Susy
Susy.
Q. And
Oh.
that's the big reveal.
Wow.
So I'm on hold for like 5 minutes. I'm like, what's
Unbelievable.
happening? She comes back and she's like, listen, she's like, so I'm gonna give you the information to our media team. What I need you to do is reach out to them. I have an email for you.
Is it because you said that you're like a podcast that she thinks you're going to like?
Yeah.
You're a journalist.
Yeah, she thinks I'm trying to like get a scoop, and I'm like, oh, I was like, listen, I just look at me now. I'm like, I'm just normal. I'm like, I'm a consumer. I just want to know.
She thought you were like from the newspaper.
Something.
Yes. Okay.
And so I was like, I just want to confirm that they're coming back because they're on the website. She's like, I can tell you they're on the website, but if any other questions, you're going to have to reach out to our media team. I'm like, then I have my like annoyed, I hate customer service, like laugh,
Yes.
like, okay, I'll do that. Thank you so much for your help. So then I get
I
off.
feel like you almost have to try to call back in another voice and be someone else.
Yeah.
And don't mention the pod.
Don't mention the pod.
Yeah.
Don't mention my daughter.
No, be like a little old lady.
So I get off and I'm like, am I going to write them? Well, sure enough, I did. I wrote them a thing. I was like, just honest about it. It's like,
Yeah.
listen, I love your products. Because then I saw that they're like, the reviews, they're giving them out to influencers. People are getting these Susy Q boxes. I'm like, at this point, I've been doing this for 2 years now,
Sure.
or 2.5 years. Like, have I not earned a Susy Q publicity box?
Certainly you have.
So I explained the whole thing, running bid on their show. We've got the episode coming out this week. I was like, I would love to be considered for one of your, like, influencer boxes.
Sure. Yes.
So I sent that Wednesday, and I still have not heard anything back from them.
Okay.
Who I did hear back from was from the comment that I sent saying that I had named my daughter Susy Q.
Okay.
Remember, there's
The
two
original-
Johns
there's
going
two Johns
into this.
active in this investigation.
And what they sent me was, Dear John, thank you for contacting the J.M. Smucker Company to inquire about hostess Susy Q's sponge cakes. We are excited to share that Susy Q's have made their return. Please keep an eye on the hostess website and your social media channels for further details. And this is my favorite. And check with the manager at your favorite grocery for availability. Like it's 1923.
Sure.
If you have any additional questions, blah, blah, blah. So
Wow. So why couldn't this
Woman, I don't
the
know. That's the-
secretary, why couldn't she just say, yeah, they're coming back. They're on the website. Yeah, they're coming back.
that's
We
the
don't know
one
when.
Hazinga. She put me on hold and was like, there's a guy, he said he's
She
on
got scared that she was going to be like quoted in like Us Weekly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she'd get fired.
I know. Bless her heart. But
Oh
it is
my gosh,
confirmed
this is so exciting.
over 2 years. So this has been 25 months in the making. We will soon have mega Susy
What
Q
kind of
pack.
influencers are getting a big Susy Q pack in the mail?
I don't
Are
know,
these
one-
like some nobodies or
Yeah.
who is this?
Some of them I saw they had like 200 likes. I'm like, I can get 200 likes.
You don't
It's
have to
like
get 200 likes.
I will literally do a whole segment on the pod about Susy
Are you
Q's.
kidding? Yeah.
I'll wear the shirt. Like,
They've got shirts?
I did. Well, I assume. I'm sure they're spending all the money. I want the
Sure.
box. I want all of it. I want the
Yeah.
hat. I want the key fob. I want that stupid thing you put on the back of your phone that I never use, which is always one.
A pop socket.
The only thing that makes me more depressed getting a pop socket is getting a mouse pad.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I use a laptop.
I'm in
but-
the market for a new mouse pad.
All right. Sorry. I took up a bunch of your show, but I was very excited about that.
Unbelievable. 3 cheers for
We'll
you.
put a pin in that.
Put a pin in that. We'll
I'll let
circle
you-
back.
We'll circle back when those are on the shelves. When I'm done here, I want to run over to Ralph's and talk to my store manager.
Can I get a meeting with Doug?
Doug, hey, Doug, John from On Brand with Jon and Marisa. Listen, I'm sure you've heard
And
of
he
me.
goes, bup, you need to speak to media PR for Albertsons.
The new college and pro football season is upon us, and BetOnline has you covered with the best odds in live and in-game betting on all your favorite teams. Head to BetOnline today to stay updated on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Well, let's dig into Michelin. And I will preface this by saying Michelin is a French company. There are many French names of towns and places. We're going to do a blanket disclaimer. Honey, I don't speak French. I'm a California girl. I'll try my best.
Oui.
Oui, oui.
Parlez-vous. I mean, that's all. I mean,
Voulez-vous coucher?
le Louis Vuitton.
Lady Marmalade.
Marmalade.
I'm no Lady Marmalade, so we'll try our best. Okay, so what is Michelin? You're listening to this, you're like, why are they talking about tires?
I thought that was a restaurant review system.
Well, you're in for a treat. Michelin is a French multinational company. They're best known for manufacturing tires and creating the international, highly influential Michelin Guide, which awards stars to restaurants and also has some travel information. This was something I had kind of heard in like a factoid somewhat recently, that those are the same thing. But before that, I was like, why Michelin? What's Michelin having to do with restaurants? We'll get into it.
I was aware of that, and if you want to put it in context with shows we've already done, Duncan Hines was, became Cake Mixes, but he was a restaurant reviewer and then came out with a guide for restaurants, very similar. And then also Guinness, which is the drink and the Guinness record. So
if we were going to package our episodes into like little multi-packs, this would be like the guide guys.
The guide guys. Or if it was like a Netflix, if you're scrolling on Netflix, it'd be like brands with an unusual twist.
Sure. For fans of guides.
Guides.
So let's start. We're taking it back. 1829. Let's talk a little bit about rubber coming on the scene in France.
1829.
So we're in Clermont-Ferrand, France, and rubber's first appearing there's a lot of people involved in this early Michelin family rubber story. We'll try to keep track of everybody. So there's a Scottish entrepreneur named Elizabeth Pugh Barker, and she brought this new rubber to her husband, Édouard Dobray's workshop. He has a little workshop. She has this idea. She wants to make little rubber bouncy balls for her kids. She's a curious woman. She thinks that there's some potential here. So Édouard and his cousin launch this company, which basically uses rubber for farm machine equipment. So like little rubber hoses and joints. Their innovations are catching a lot of attention at trade fairs. So rubber is just kind of like, it's one of those things. It's like, there was a time where like rubber was like, people were like raising an eyebrow, like, what's that? Oui. Tell me more.
Poor Kay. Wait.
So the rubber factory is not doing great. And then, so these two cousins who started that machine business, they died in 1863 and 1864, a year apart. Sad. The business is not doing well.
Were those deaths related in any way?
Maybe a murder-suicide at midnight on New Year's Eve.
A murder, and then like it took him a year to think. Like, I said I would kill myself, but
I think I should do it.
A year later, he's like, bang, bang.
I'm gonna commit to something for once in my life. The business is in a very, very bad state. One of the cousins, Aristide, he has a daughter named Adele who inherited the whole business. It's in a ton of debt. It's not doing well. Her husband is not interested in farm machinery. So Adele Michelin, she calls on her two adult sons now to kind of figure out a way to revive this dying rubber business. The Michelin brothers, they don't know anything about rubber. They don't know anything about farm machinery. Édouard is an artist and André is an engineer. And they studied the rubber and they kind of got convinced that it was a material that had a lot of potential. So in 1889, they changed the company name to Michelin and C, which is and Company, so Michelin and Company. And they specialized in producing rubber for industry. So the two guys, we have Édouard, he's the older one. He's like, just to make, they're a spoiler alert. I was like.
They're hot. They have to have, they're French. And
so they're two French brothers. Mm-hmm. The older one, he's more of like, I feel like he'd be your type. He's more like reserved. He's like the inventor, the engineer. He's very methodical and technical. He's super smart. He likes to sketch his little designs. Then the younger brother, Andre, he's like my type. He's more outgoing. He's the businessman. He's the marketer. And he likes to kind of strategize on like the branding and the communication. So together, their personalities, it's kind of like whatever they would have done, they probably would have been successful because together they just have a good synergy. To bring a vision to life.
I love it.
But they had this little rubber factory. They're like, what are we going to do? Their first invention that they bring to the scene is a rubber brake pad for clip-clop carriages.
Wow.
Called the Silent.
Michelin tires started with horses?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Clip-clops in particular. Then one day in 1889, their future changed forever. A horse-drawn wagon, a clip-clop, pulled up to the Michelin factory, and in the back of the wagon is a bicycle with a flat tire that needed repairing. So they're like, have a flat tire. They're like, where are we going to get it fixed? They're like, oh, let's go down to the rubber factory. We'll go see if they can do anything about it. At the time, there were two kinds of tires. There were ones that were solid rubber, and then there was this new kind of rubber that was air-filled. This is called a pneumatic rubber tire. Mm-hmm. And at the time, they were glued on to like the rim of the tire, the metal part. It took hours to remove it, repair it, re-glue it, wait for the glue to dry. And after the tire was finished, the brothers like took the little bike for a spin. They're like, this is kind of fun. They had never seen these air-filled tires before. It's so much more comfortable to ride on. At the time, bicycle riding is a growing trend, and they began thinking about, well, what's a way we could make a better tire that would be even easier to replace? So at the time, France is undergoing a significant cultural revolution. It's called the Belle Époque. I might be pronouncing that wrong. The Beautiful Era in French. And it's a period in European history from 1871 to 1914. And it's marked by like optimism and peace and prosperity and innovation. And everyone's just kind of jamming as you think about like the beautiful architecture and the art. And everyone's just really prosperous. And this is like pre-World War I. So like they don't know what's coming, but everyone's feeling really good. Okay. Railways had changed travel. And bicycles are signifying this like new kind of freedom. And cycling is sweeping Europe. There's all these like cycling clubs, and it's giving a lot of independence, especially to women, whom Susan B. Anthony famously called, they have been freed by the bicycle.
Wow.
Because typically if you had a car or a clip-clop, you needed a chaperone with you. But if you're on a bike, bitch, you can go wherever you please.
Now, these bikes, just visually, is this like giant tire in front, tiny tire in back? Are these like, what bikes are these?
I think this is regular bike.
Like a mountain bike?
I think it's like a,
I don't think
like
it's
a 10-speed.
I don't think it's a 10-speed or a mountain bike.
I think it's a 10-speed Schwinn.
Is it like one of those real low rider bikes that I don't understand that the boys will use?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's either a Schwinn, a 10-speed Schwinn, or a low rider bike that the boys use.
But it's not I thought it was the giant tire, little tire.
I think that was earlier 1800s.
Okay.
I think.
And then I have, just for my own information. Hey, Siri, when did France give America the Statue of Liberty? She literally just turned off. She just turned off. She did her rainbow and then was like, turned off. She didn't even,
Siri is like the worst Gen Z employee, where it's like looking up, not acknowledging you, and then just looking back down. Yeah. I mean, like, no, you look it up.
No.
What a bitch. It took a few years, but they're noodling on this way to make a tire that's easier to repair. And then they finally came up with a detachable air-filled tire that could be replaced in only 15 minutes instead of the hours it would take for like waiting for the glue to dry.
This is insane. This is exactly the conversation I had about my tire when I was like pulled over.
And you're like, what's going on in there?
No, because like the car that I have, like I remember back in the day, like I could just buy a tire and put it on. They put a hubcap on.
Sure.
My car doesn't have hubcaps anymore. It has like a rim, so the tire gets like sealed on it. So when I was waiting for AAA, my friend was like, "You should just have them bring you a tire." And I was like, "I don't think they can do that."
No, I
like
don't
they would have to
think,
there's a million sizes and different and it has to be welded on. Like they can bring you a battery, but they can't bring you a tire.
Yeah.
And when I asked him, he's like, "No, you have to go to like a tire shop." I was like, I know.
We used to be able, you could throw a new tire on.
You could throw a new tire on, but now it's like,
anymore.
even when I was leaving at the tire place yesterday, I was like, well, let me keep the one that's still kind of good.
Yeah.
So then I have a good spare. He's like, it honestly won't do you any good because you would have to bring it here and have it put on. And now you have warranty on these anyway. So you're just going to have this like rubber ring.
Wow.
So
it's changing the tire. And it made me wonder.
I couldn't help but
wonder. Is changing a tire a thing of the past? Wow, that's a really boring episode of Sex and the City, but a fun episode of our show.
And I couldn't help but wonder, has the tire bubble burst?
Is it easier to change a tire or change yourself?
I couldn't help but wonder, is it easier to get 4 new tires or 4 new men? Samantha does it one.
Yeah, why did she never get to do one?
Finally, we got to something.
1891,
Édouard and André Michelin patent the demountable, which means removable, pneumatic bicycle tire. And then came the publicity of a lifetime. How much does this not sound like something you would want to do? The 1891 Brest-Paris race. So this is a 1,200 kilometer or 750 mile bicycle race.
That's it?
That's it?
We can all bicycle 750 miles.
I double checked. I'm like, can that be right? I checked 750. Is this, it doesn't seem physically possible.
Isn't that farther than San Francisco?
I think so. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And cyclist Charles Tarrant rode to victory on Michelin's detachable tires. So the tire was just patented in 1891. That same year, he gets this amazing publicity, winning the race, and the rider finished 8 hours ahead of the second place rider.
What?
So newspapers, they're snapping pictures. They're writing all this stuff about how easy they are to repair, the superiority of the Michelin tires. And now this little rubber workshop is on the map.
Rolling into the new century.
Unbelievable.
I love it.
This is when things get fun. 1894. So this is a few years later. At the Lion World's Fair. Oh, a World's Fair. Take me back. Time machine.
I want the souvenirs. I want the trinkets. I want to try the exciting new foods like hot dogs.
That are, what were they? They were like, you have a glove.
Oh, yeah.
You're loaned a glove.
Or was that for ice cream? I forget.
No,
yeah, there was some
you
sort
were loaned
of
a glove for your hot dog.
For
Yeah, for a sausage before they gave you a bun. Will you bring back that glove, please? People are not bringing them back. Do you promise you will?
I have 19 gloves at my home. That's like at the end of a concert when they want us to put our like bracelets, our lit up bracelets in the bin when we leave.
Fat chance.
No way you're getting
paid
this.
$400 for this ticket.
I want this to blink in my house for the next 2 days and then die and then be sad.
Edward, I cannot stress enough, these guys are not hot. These two French brothers.
They gotta be hot.
Sure, in our mind they are, but they're not.
I picture like wanky teeth, gangly hot.
You know what? I just saw The Prestige, so I'm going to imagine it's Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale.
Okay.
And that actually works really well for me.
All right.
So Edward Michelin noticed at the World's Fair a stack of tires all piled up that he thought resembled a man.
Oh.
And so he turned to his brother Andre. He's like, look, if it had arms, it would look like a man. And they kind of thought about that. They kind of laughed. And then 4 years later, they hired an artist. This guy is hot. Oh, Galop. This is his like pen name, to bring the figure to life. And he created the Michelin Man. He was drawn up. These early advertisements for the Michelin Man are so, I mean, they're beautifully illustrated, like hand drawn, but the way that he was portrayed, he was a booze hound party boy. He was made of tires. He's like, it's kind of that like, when you think of like swinging Europe party time, he's holding a goblet full of nails, glass, and road debris, with the Latin slogan, Nunc est bibendum, which means now is the time to drink. The message is that Michelin tires can drink up any obstacle like glass or nails and they won't pop. And the official name of the Michelin Man since then is bibendum, after time to drink.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
I feel like I don't know when. I feel like sometime in the last year I've done a little like, I wasn't even going to do it as a show, but
Just
I feel
for
like
fun?
it showed up. I think it was like a, can you believe what the Michelin Man used to look like kind of
Yeah.
thing in my feed? And he looks crazy. Was there something about the color? Like, was rubber white back then?
Rubber was white back then, yeah.
Okay. And that's why he's white.
He's like a big stack of white. Well, he's white now.
But I think that's why he is white now, because when they were doing this, rubber just happened to be white.
That is true, yeah, because carbon wasn't added yet.
Yeah.
And he looks like he almost looks like a Babadook. He's like very like,
Yeah.
he was in all these like cartoons, and the ads are just like really surreal and absurd and strange. And it almost seemed like it would be cool to have like blown up as like a giant print on like the wall of your loft.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
they're,
may
like,
have to check
really
in
wild.
with Michelin and just see if there's anything left in the old warehouse. It's like, it reminds me of the Mickey Mouses from like year one at Disneyland. They look terrifying.
Sure, it's very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. Early Big Bird. Everything was very sketchy
Early
and pointy
Big
and
Bird.
spooky.
It's all
and
just rough.
the
and
eyes.
It's
Yeah.
all just been like really figured out by now.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. And we'll probably look back on 100 years and be like, what were we thinking?
Yeah. And now everything has rules. Like, I'm sure like the ears have to be like, you look at like the schematics of how like a certain like branded cartoons have to be
Sure.
drawn, like The Simpsons. Like, it's a very specific, like Bart's spikes can only be
You
so
said
tall.
that about Mickey, that both of his ears always have to be shown. You have to see both at the same time.
Yeah, you never see them profile, because then it would
Yeah.
just be like a line.
Yeah.
Same with Snoopy. Like Snoopy, you always see, no matter how he's standing, you're always seeing the side of his head.
Which I respect, because sometimes, like when they do show a famous cartoon from the front, I find that to be very unsettling.
It's like when you watch the Muppets and see their legs
I
all of
don't
a
wanna
sudden.
see their
Sometimes, now I'm okay with their legs, but
Only when Kermit's riding a bike. Otherwise, I don't want to see the legs.
we love to see Kermit ride the bike.
So now it's 1900, turn of the century.
Okay.
France has at this time less than 3,000 cars on the road. We'll say 2,400 cars on the road by one account. Most were owned by the wealthy elites, the richest of the rich. The Michelin brothers are thinking, they're like, okay, we had a lot of fun with bike tires. We want to maybe get into car tires. how could we inspire people to travel more, be less intimidated by hitting the road, turn the car from a toy of the rich into something that could be a necessity for their everyday life and enrich their life by travel exploration? So they printed the first Michelin guide, which is, I mean, I'll post a picture of this, a gorgeous little thick red book, handed out for free all over France. It included maps, instructions on how to change tires, which at the time was relevant pre-AAA, where to find fuel, where to stay, and where to eat. So their goal, like I said, was to make driving less intimidating so people will drive more.
Can I just pipe in very quick? This is another thing that happened with my tire on Saturday. Back in the day, this is, I think, my fourth or fifth car in my life.
Yeah.
I've always had Volkswagens. I could always change my tire. I could get the dummy out. I could jack up the car. I could take it off. I could put the new tire on.
Yes.
I can't anymore.
They don't want you to.
They don't want you to. They had to. I have a special tool to pick off the things that are covering the bolts. The bolts have a lock that I have to. I have my own like lock for the bolts.
Yes.
It's like. So I felt, part of me was like, I feel lame waiting for AAA to come change this tire. But like when he got there, plus they do all that. And the jack they give you still like you got to like, you have to make sure you're putting it in the right spot.
In the right spot, yeah.
Or
Otherwise it'll like blast through your trunk.
Which Lucy did, like
Yes.
it came up through the hood. And then you're like, I'm picking up an entire car.
Crazy.
And he came with his little pedal and pumped it up real fast. And like, but man, it used to be an easier game.
That is very intentional. There's a few companies that pride themselves on that they call the right to repair, that they make things that are still repairable. Like Dyson is really good about that. My family, my sister and mom's vacuum just broke, their Dyson. And I went over there and they got like, it's all disassembled and they got screwdrivers out. They got a YouTube tutorial. So some companies are good about that, but that is so true. You would need like a special, you'd have to have like a mechanic license to like get these tools.
I know Apple does that, and now even
Yeah.
Swatch, which I am really struggling with my thoughts on Swatch. For my entire life, 40 years or however long Swatches have been around, you could change the battery thing in the back just
Wow.
has a line in it, and you stick a nickel in it and
Yeah.
turn it. They have gotten rid of that. Now it's 3 dots. There's no tool that
Who
opens
has
it.
3 dots?
You have to go to the Swatch store. It's like,
Unbelievable.
why would you take that? Like, why make us not be able to do that?
They want to get you in the store so you buy more stuff.
But they closed all the Swatch stores in LA.
It's annoying.
I have to drive an hour.
Can you buy a 3-pronged screwdriver?
You could not. I'm sure there's now third-party ones.
You need to go undercover at a watch
At a Swatch store?
store
I need
and
to
pretend like you're an employee clocking in for your shift, a new employee.
I should just pretend I'm on Undercover Boss and
Yeah.
put a wig and a mustache on and go to the Swatch in Topanga and be
That's
like,
great.
hey, so the camera crew's going to be here in a minute. Do you just want to show me around the back real quick before everyone gets here?
So
And-
what are the kind of things I'm going to do? Am I going to have to like change a watch battery?
Oh, yeah, cool. Oh, cool. Oh, I see. Yeah, you've got the 3-pronger. Yeah, we just ordered a bunch of those in. I'm glad that you guys have yours.
You take that, you run out of there, you hit Cinnabon, bingo, bingo, boingo,
Bingo, bongo,
best
bingo,
day of your life.
get home, change all my batteries.
Play a
call it
little
day.
Mario Galaxy.
Put my wig on my mannequin.
Yeah, I could see you with a mannequin. So they're thinking more driving will mean more worn tires, more customers. Let's get people out on the road to wear these tires down. Nearly 35,000. So remember, less than 3,000 people have cars. Nearly 35,000 copies of the first free edition were distributed throughout France.
Why so many?
I don't know why so many. I don't know.
That's a lot.
It feels like too much.
Feels like a lot.
Feels
too
like
much.
Gladys in printing made a little snafu, put a little extra 0 on the printer.
Yeah.
So during World War I, publication of the guide was suspended, of course, as everything changes during wartime. After the war, revised editions of the guide continued to be given away until 1920. There's a story that André Michelin, he was visiting a tire merchant, making the rounds, slinging his tires. He noticed copies of the guide were being used to prop up a wobbly workbench. So he kind of came to this principle that people will respect what they pay for. So like by it being free, people aren't really taking it seriously or respecting it. So they decided to charge for the guide. At the time, it's about 750 francs or $2.15 US money in 1922. They also made some changes. They listed restaurants by specific categories, adding hotel listings, and removing ads. So they used to have ads in there, which kind of cheapened it. So they took out the ads. And then they started to recognize that the growing popularity was on the restaurant section of the guide.
Of course, the escargot.
Of course.
Everyone's craving those snails.
Who has the best escargot in all of Gay Paris?
Have you ever had escargot?
No, not in a million years.
I got it on like prom night with my friend Polly. We went to the rotating restaurant in Cincinnati, which no longer rotates, I don't think. it came to a
You're
halt.
like, what's the fanciest meal? Did you go funny for prom or were you serious?
I was on house arrest for shoplifting, so we didn't go to the dance, but it was the only night that my parents would let me go out. So I got a beautiful green velvet sport coat from the thrift store, and we went to the rotating restaurant and just had a nice night. I think that's the night we went to Rocky Horror Picture Show too, which that was like a midnight thing to do back in the day.
That was nice.
But we just had fun.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Skip the dance. So in the 1920s, they began sending out anonymous inspectors to evaluate restaurants. At first, a star just simply meant it was a very good restaurant, but by 1931, Michelin introduced a hierarchy. So 1 star is a very good restaurant in its category. 2 stars is excellent cooking, worth a detour. 3 stars, exceptional cuisine, worth a special journey. I love how they're ranking them in terms of like you're driving, like is it worth it to make the special trip just for the restaurant?
I mean, that's pretty nice synergy with their driving and ranking.
For you, then it's like Arby's is a 3-star Michelin restaurant.
I would drive to Van Nuys for Arby's now that the one is gone.
Worth a special journey, you'd say?
Worth a detour.
You're making a special journey.
I mean, have I made a special journey to Arby's? Yes. I made a special journey for everything.
3 John stars.
Long John Silver says I've made many special journeys for.
Wow. Is that your has the most stars for you, do you think?
No, but it's just so rare that I ever get it. I'm willing to, anytime I go like on a road trip or anything, I check that area to see if there is one.
Okay.
Or one within an hour, like 40 minutes that I could drive to.
Michelin loves you.
They would really
they
like
would love
me.
you.
5 stars should be like John would go here.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Just to speak a little bit about Michelin stars and what they like represent for restaurants. So this, for many chefs, is like, it's a lifelong goal. It can make your restaurant overnight. It can put your restaurant on the map. It can tank your restaurant if you lose a star, because you can also lose them if you are revisited and it seems like you're not now living up to those standards.
But 1 star, you're still good.
You're still good, yeah. 1 star is great.
The only bad is just to not have any stars.
Sure. So if you have 1 star and then you lose your star, you lose your Michelin star. There was even a chef named Bernard Loiseau in 2003, and he felt so much pressure from his Michelin star that he took his own life.
What?
So this is a significant badge of honor
there
in
had
the
to be
restaurant world.
He had
I'm sure he wasn't
more
well in
going
other ways,
on.
but it creates a lot of pressure and stress for chefs. It's almost like a curse, because it's like once you have it, I'm sure we'll feel that when we reach a certain level of podcast success.
Well, I think
once you have it, like, are you going to lose it? Because it's not permanent.
I was going to say it's similar to like there's researchers that don't have an Emmy, and then there's researchers that like have one Emmy,
1 Emmy,
2 Emmys, 3 Emmys.
Your Emmy cannot be taken away, though. What if it could?
I think it actually can. I think I can't like sell it, or there's like certain things I think I can't do to it.
You can't?
I think. But you know what you can do?
What?
1 time order a duplicate, which I plan to do before I die.
Oh
so
my
that
God,
I'll have
you
2.
have to do that.
In like 10 years when I want it to be all fresh and goldy
they
again.
give you 1? I'm just shocked you don't have a backup in storage.
It says, I think you get the same plate on and everything, but I think somewhere it says duplicate.
Oh, wow.
Who cares?
Who cares?
I will definitely buy my duplicate Emmy before I die.
I think you definitely should. So now, Michelin's pumping. They got their guides. They got their tires on the road. Everyone's excited to take their little road trips and try the 3-star escargot. This was a little sidebar, something that they did in the 1920s that I just appreciate, because I feel like it's something that I would do if I had this much power culturally. They didn't like that there were like really shitty roadsides all over France. Like signs would be like wood or inconsistent or hard to read or not numbered. And they were like, people are driving around, they're getting lost. Why do the signs suck? So they petitioned and changed legislation so that they could make roads safer and easier to navigate, which was useful because they were trying to have people go outside their comfort zone and travel more. They began producing road signs across France. They were these beautiful like ceramic tiles affixed to walls and posts. They had them like consistent so that they would all look the same. They'd all be really easy to read. And I'm just like, good for you. Like putting your power towards like infrastructure. Like if we had the power to fix that bridge, imagine if we could.
Bridge is why my tire blew up.
I think it is. I think it is.
100% is.
Yeah. If I had that much money and that much power, I would just be like, everything that annoyed me, I'd be like, we're taking it to the highest court.
Yeah. I mean, I do think about when all these things are being put in place. Like, God bless these people that even made roads 200 years ago.
I know. I can't believe it. And those things that we take for granted, that like all the signs are the same and easy to read. That was somebody who had to be like, guys, this is getting ridiculous. Like a beaver chewed off half this sign. We don't know where we're going.
Her name is Marisa. Quit calling her the beaver.
I'm the town beaver.
You're the town beaver.
Michelin at this point, they're putting tires on trains. They're like, what else can we put tires on? One of the Michelin brothers was like on in a sleeper car, and he's like bumping along. And he's like, this needs tires. It's like a true story. And so then they put tires on trains, and now
Wait, what?
It's true.
There was a guy sleep on a bumpy train. Trains
Michelin,
didn't
yeah.
have tires.
They didn't have
They
tires.
were just being dragged.
There were two, like, it was just like metal on metal, and he got a little rubber on there. to
There's
make it less
no
bumpy.
way there's rubber on train
He
tires.
put rubber on train tires.
Babe,
He did.
Okay.
He did.
Okay.
I don't have an Emmy, but that's my research.
I haven't researched it, so I have to believe you.
You have to believe me.
I just know because, like, we put tires, like, we were in Ohio. I don't know if you've ever done this. We live by train tracks, and you would put coins on them
yeah.
and then come back the next day, and they're just flat coins. They were
Flat as a
really
pancake.
fun. I mean, it was
Pressed pennies.
the first original pressed penny, no design. It's just like a big disc. But, like, I don't think they could have rubber.
Enough to maybe
Are you thinking of, like, zoo trains?
No.
I think you're thinking of zoo trains.
He said he was in a sleeper car of a train, and it was rackety backety bumpity bumpity all night long.
Was he like, there was giraffes and there was elephants and I couldn't sleep because of the monkeys.
I was eating cotton candy. I don't know. You'll have to ask Michelin about it. That's
There
what
were
he says.
Dippin' Dots.
You'll have to ask Michelin.
Okay.
So now, post-war landscape, Europe is in ruins. Infrastructure is shattered. The roads are hell after a war, which, I mean, maybe that's what happened here, and nobody did anything. Resources like rubber are very tightly controlled, but then now there's this opportunity. So nations are kind of rebuilding. Their economies are rebounding, and people are trying to look for optimism wherever they can. So Michelin, they survived the wartime occupation of Germany. Their factories were seized by the Germans. They were wanting to be a leader in this like new era of France. So the company doubles down on research and innovation. And in 1946, we're going to get into the weeds a little bit on tire patent specifics.
I was saying earlier today, I would love to hear about some tire patents.
Great. Okay, perfect. Yeah, since you've been very intimate with tires recently, I feel like you should know a little bit about how they work. In 1946, Michelin engineers filed a patent for what would become one of the most important inventions in tire history, the radial tire. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this make sense because I don't know what the hell what's going on in there. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So radial tires use layers of steel cords running perpendicular to the tread. You know, the tread is like the bumpies.
Oh, I'm very aware with tread. It has to be
Sure.
4 or greater or they will void your warranty.
There you go. Exactly. Honestly, we should send this to the crew at America's Tire.
They
might
would
like
love to
this.
hear this.
The result is because it has this steel reinforcement, it's more durable, it's more fuel efficient, it has better grip. And in Europe, they're just beginning to embrace these affordable cars. There's a car called the Citroën. Do you know this car? It's very cute. It looks like a Volkswagen Bug, but like a James Bondy kind of Volkswagen Bug. It's very cute.
Yeah.
And it was called an umbrella on 4 wheels. It was meant to be like basic, affordable transportation. You know, everybody is still kind of recovering from the war. We want to make things affordable that are low cost, simple to maintain. And this car at the time, it would be worth approximately today $4,691. But
Wow.
it looks like it should be in a car museum. It's so cute. So Michelin had a really close relationship with this car company. They ended up buying some stake in the company, and they were using this as kind of like the launch pad for their new radial tire. So they have this new really affordable car. It's really cute. It's really easy to maintain. And then they have their new amazing tires that they threw on there that would become the industry standard. Drivers immediately noticed they're in this little rinky-dinky car that they could travel farther, use less fuel, and they could drive more confidently on the roads that were not in great shape. So really, we could benefit from some radial tires also. We might be on them and using them already. And then now Europe is recovering from the war. Michelin starts exporting its technology. We know how this goes with Shark Tank. Now you're kind of like, now it's off to the races. It's like, this is basically, they patented this technology of this radial tire. So now they can license it. They can pass it along to anybody. By the late 1960s, the company had its sights set on the US, the biggest car market in the world, still dominated by Goodyear, heard of it? Firestone, big boy.
Oh boy. Continental.
Continental, maybe not up in the big 3, but maybe in the top 10.
They were budget tires.
Their tires that were popular at the time in the 1960s was this bias ply technology. So it's like what preceded this radial tire, the thing that's really making waves in Europe. Consumer Reports tested Michelin's radial tires in 1968 and declared them vastly superior. And American drivers and eventually car makers like Ford started to switch over to radial tires. So Michelin, it's not just their brand of tires, it's their technology that has influenced the way tires are, made everywhere.
They've done so much. I didn't know that these boys, what I assume are hot
French brothers.
French men.
And maybe they practice kissing on each other.
Probably. I mean, they're French, so that would make sense. The French love to kiss.
Do they
Don't tell me they invented French kissing.
Do they need to practice how to kiss, or do French people just know how to French?
So they're born Frenching.
They're born Frenching. So now they're just into their global expansion. They're buying local companies, they're building new plants, they're pushing the radial tires as like the new mainstream choice. They're acquiring tire companies. They become now in 1989 one of the big 3 tire makers in the US: Goodyear, Firestone, and Michelin.
Fun fact. I was pushing for the Firestone F to be one of the Fs in
That's
off-brand,
right.
but it
Oh my
didn't fit
gosh.
aesthetically.
I forgot. Yeah, it was a delicate balance to try to get, the colors and the size. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now Michelin's on the map. They're going global. The Bibendum, the Michelin Man, he's getting a little bit of a makeover in the 1970s to the 1980s. He's slimming down.
Of course. In the 80s, he had to be he's like skinny
He's
little tires.
jazzercising. As tire designs are kind of changing, they're kind of, moving some of the bulk. Not even Bibendum is safe from the diet culture of the 1980s.
That's so funny. I like the one picture I'm looking at. He's flexing. His biceps are just bigger tires.
They kind of change his look from this kind of weird, abstract, strange tire bot to more of like a friendlier, family-friendly symbol. He's in comics, he's in pop culture. At the same time, Michelin, with their guides going into Asia, so they're expanding beyond Europe with their Michelin guides. They start to get into like motorsports, Formula One. Their name is now just like a household name.
Wait, when did the boys die?
The boys must be dead. It's funny, I didn't see when the boys died. Honestly, they weren't hot enough to care.
Babe.
I'm being you.
No, I just said old people can't be hot.
Oh.
And some old people get really mad at that. They get really bent out of shape.
I didn't know it wasn't until 2005 that Michelin launched guides in the U.S. I thought it had been earlier, but it wasn't until the early 2000s.
I didn't know either. I thought it'd been around forever.
No, it was like all over Europe and other countries, but it took a while before it got to America.
So there was no Michelin restaurants in America at all until then?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Until 2005. In 2000, Bibendum was named the best logo in history by an international panel for the Financial Times.
The best logo of all time?
Better than Apple, better than Mickey, better than Coca-Cola.
What?
Hey, take it up with the
Financial
international
Ti-
panel for the Financial Times.
The Financial Times is a reputable newspaper.
Well, Michelin is very proud of this honor.
That might be a French newspaper.
Financial Times.
It's a French tire trade magazine.
It could be. It could be.
That seems wrong.
Maybe it was Financial Tires, and I just like the M kind of was written twice.
Well,
2
good for
Rs
them.
and a little line. Michelin in the present day, I mean, now they're trying eco-friendly tires. They're trying to recycle. Everybody is, sure.
Sure.
They've expanded into aviation, machinery, space exploration, not interested. They're looking into airless tires and smart tires with sensors. Who
You don't have
cares?
any admiration that this could be a company
Sure.
that goes from literally
Clip-clop.
working from clip-clop times, transitions to bike time, to pedal, to zoom, to fly. And you're like, meh, I'd rather end it with the car.
Yes, the car was, should man be up there? No.
Sure. We shouldn't be going 80 miles an hour, but we do.
I agree.
You're going to walk to the Americana?
I'll hop on the back of a pony.
Babe, I would kill. You should spend 1 year only traveling by horse. I challenge you. I throw down the gauntlet.
That's like my Mr. Beast challenge. Like if I can spend 1 year only riding a horse, he gives me $1 million.
God. Yeah.
In 2021, this is when I really shed a tear.
Oh no,
the
he
Michelin
died?
Guide ended its print editions after 121 years, transitioned to digital only platform. Is there 3 words that I hate more than digital only platform, including a proprietary app?
Man, that's rough. Remember how Trader Joe's tried to get rid of their Fearless Flyer and everyone was up in arms and they kept it?
I'm sure I sent an email. Yeah.
And there's just it seems like
A
a
newspaper.
recycled old newspaper. It doesn't even,
Sure.
I don't even know that it's saving the planet.
What difference does it make?
Who cares? We're going to be out of here in 10 years anyway.
Like we?
Us.
Oh, you and me or everybody?
You and me.
Oh, okay. The Michelin stars, we know, I knew of the Michelin stars before. As I said, I knew that they had any association with the tires. If I think of Michelin, I think of the stars.
Yeah, of
More
course.
so
I
than
think
the
more
tire
than, well,
company.
I don't know. I think of them pretty equally, even though I've never had Michelin tires. I don't know if you can just get Michelin tires anywhere. Do I have to go to a special Michelin store?
They're around. They're premium brand.
So I could have gotten them at the place.
Yeah.
I don't think, as far as I know, I don't think I've ever eaten at a Michelin restaurant.
I know I haven't.
I feel like that's going to be like the fancy restaurant. Like, who am I thinking of? Thomas Keller?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Is he one?
James Beard,
James-
award-winning.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm
restaurant.
thinking of,
Yeah.
is the James Beard
But
Award.
the Michelin stars are, they're similar prestige. Some countries even pay Michelin to make a guide for their country because it's such good press to spotlight restaurants. They've gotten criticism over the years of only favoring a certain type of cuisine or a certain type of dining experience. But I will say they are now, maybe they've made an effort to do it. They have a wide range of restaurants that they award with stars. There's a really affordable one in Los Angeles that it's a less than $30. You can get a Michelin star meal.
Let's do it.
It's all clams and fish,
I like fish. I don't love clams.
little shrimpies and stuff.
I like shrimp.
Okay, I'll have some rice.
I'm sure there's a fish you would like. Fish is good.
Yeah, maybe.
What'd you call lobster? Savory marshmallows?
Savory marshmallows, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. And I would encourage, if you're traveling to one of these bigger cities in America, look at the Michelin stars because like I said, there is a range. Some of them, there's the most expensive one. There's a really expensive one in France. There's some that are $150 tasting menu. There are some that are $1,500 meals, absolutely crazy in China, all over Europe. But then I think in America, there are Philadelphia, Boston, New York, LA. There's bigger cities that have good Michelin star restaurants that are not only expensive. I think that was my misconception, is that they were only for white tablecloth, super fine dining places. And that is not true.
I kind of assume that too. Have the companies, are they still just one company, or is it like Gap, Old Navy? Have they separated where the restaurant business is one business and the tire business is completely separate?
They have different websites, but it's all Michelin.
But it's all in one, I could be on the third floor
Yeah.
looking at the design of the new star.
Yeah,
And then run
exactly.
downstairs and look at the new tire treads.
Yep.
It blows my mind.
That's it on Michelin.
Wow, that is actually a very fascinating story. What
fun.
I am fascinated by is the journey of, it's almost like Back to the Future. You
Sure.
see this one thing traverse through decades, centuries of time, and how it managed to navigate so,
Sure.
probably not easily, but easily.
Well, there was a path, and you know who we credit the original? You are very wet.
Look at this. This was how it was in the other one.
The air is on. None of this would have happened without Elizabeth Pugh Barker, who brought the bouncy balls home. We just have to give her credit.
I mean, good for her. This kind of falls also into your portfolio of people that find a weird foam.
Sure, yes. What to do with rubber.
Just a weird material. You
And
like
this
a
is-
material that turns into an iconic product and brand.
And I love too that it was a failing company for 2 generations. And then only then when you got the not hot brothers did it finally flourish. I think that's really cool. So knowing everything you know, is Michelin on brand for you? Or you're a continental cutie? Are you a Michelin mama or a continental cutie?
I mean, I'm so not devoted to any tire. I
You're
know
not
that they're
brand loyal to a tire.
I know that they're people out there that I'm sure absolutely would only use one specific type of tire.
Sure.
I'm usually like, what's the cheapest? What's the one that's second cheapest? I'll get that so I'm not like complete trash.
I'm second cheapest also. And I'm sure there's like a term for those people that are second cheapest. Like when I drink wine, I would be like, I'm not going to get the cheapest glass.
I'm not getting $2 Chuck. I'm getting $3. Oh, I almost said
I'll bleep it.
Yeah. And I'm also like, for some reason, not going to take like if I'm picking something, I'm not taking the one that's in front. I'm taking the one that's behind it. Because I feel like the front one's been fondled.
Everybody's fondled it.
Yeah.
And I also feel like it's the rotten one that they're trying to like pass off to any old schmo.
But then part of me is also like, thinks that the front one's sad that no one will take it. And I'm like, how can a CD be sad? And then I'm like, why am I CD shopping?
I don't have a CD player.
You know what? I'll say that it's on brand for me because I admire it as a company. I like it when two ugly people can do great things. So I love that they navigated into two completely different industries. I love that they've gone through all the modes of vehicles. I implore them to go into space. I mean, how cool would that be? This is when I do the thing where I'm like, Walt Disney, I wish Walt Disney could see Ride of the Resistance. Yeah. If those ugly Frenchmen could see their rubber tires on like a rover on Mars, like that would be so mind-blowing to them. So, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to give it a full hard-on brand for me.
I'm going to agree with you, just out of respect for the innovation and the gumption, and it's just a great classic story of a business. I sent you actually a picture of the two brothers so you can see them, and so for those reasons, it's a medium on brand. It's not hard, it's not soft, it's medium because I'm not brand loyal to Michelin at all.
Actually,
I've never eaten at a Michelin star restaurant.
I'm going to decide if it's a hard on brand when I click this picture to see what these boys look like. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes. I see what you're saying. They're not hot.
No. But is that all that matters? I'm gonna send you a picture of the guy who drew the Michelin Man.
It doesn't hurt. I mean, I'm not hot. I'm just judgy. Okay. Why does the guy, he looks like an international spy. He's got like a fedora on and a mustache. He's like, this is like an expensive portrait taken of him.
He might be on Undercover Boss. You know what? As long as somebody hot was affiliated with the brand, it really raises the overall hotness.
Yeah, he's kind of hot.
Okay, great.
All right, cool. Well, awesome. Thank you for teaching me about something that I knew very little about. And sorry I rambled so much about Susy Q's and...
Are you kidding? That's what people come here for.
Well, I can't wait till those get back. All right, well, thank you for that. Before we go, of course, we have to give some shout-outs. I actually have a handful of random shout-outs to give today.
Okay. Did we shout out Steve for congratulations on his retirement?
I don't think we did. We shout him out every week for something.
Well, I'm just going to say Dr. Steve, he retired after a long tenure as a veterinarian, and we want to congratulate Steve on his retirement.
Very active and vocal in the Discord community. Brand freak. Yes, congratulations to Steve. I'm sure that their family's going to be moving to be closer to their children. Big life changes.
To Arizona, yes.
Moving to Arizona. Scottsdale. We'll get his address soon if you want to send him a card.
And I would say to you, join the Patreon so we can know intimate details about your personal life as well.
Okay. So that is one of the shout outs I want to give because someone reached out to me and was like, hey, you guys shout out the Discord people a lot. There are people that just don't want to do Discord,
sure, okay.
but we want to support you.
Right.
And we wouldn't mind a little bit of love. So, and I was like, oh my God, just so you know. Well, one, I think I tout the Discord because I just want everyone to feel like they're getting their money's worth.
And I want everyone to feel invited.
Yeah, I want everyone to feel invited. But oh my God, anyone that supports us through Patreon, you have no idea how much that means to us.
Oh my God.
like we now, like I bought, like now when I buy things that we're going to eat on the show, like we don't
hostess,
have, I'm not paying those myself anymore. Like
yes.
Just little things like that are so exciting. Got a new hard drive. I might get an iPad.
Great.
So we really, it doesn't matter if you're in the Discord. Only get in there if that's something that's fun to you. It can be overwhelming. You get a lot of messages. We now apparently have a subreddit.
There's a subreddit
that has just started too.
So this is news. If you're not a Discord person, I mean, not everyone listening is on the Patreon, but if you are a Reddit person, check out On Brand Podcast and you can talk about episodes there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be in there. That's brand new as of less than 24 hours ago. As of right now, I think we have like 6.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're very
Hey,
new.
6,
We're
that's
babies.
great.
Yeah. Okay. So who else am I giving shout outs to? I want to give a shout out to Vicky, who's a listener, someone I went to high school with, who has been an OG listener from the beginning. She sent me this Surf Cincinnati shirt that I am sweating through. Surf Cincinnati, I talked about on one of our episodes. I don't even remember which one. We were talking about the beach and Surf Cincinnati in Ohio. And she was like, I want you to have the shirt. So she sent me that.
Oh,
and I
that's
think
so
that's
sweet.
very sweet. So thank you to Vicky. Okay, and then a couple of shout. So in our last episode, I implored any freak that wants to help us out. It has been my dream, my ooey gooey dream, to have an on-brand master timeline that has all the dates of all the brands we've talked about, when they started, important dates of people, birthdays of people, news, product release dates, just this timeline. Even when you were talking today, every date you said, I'm like, oh, I want to jump on the timeline. So a couple people really jumped on that right away, and I want to give them shout outs. First in the Discord, actually first who reached out within an hour of the show dropping was a guy named Dan. He's like, I put together like the basic timeline of when all the brands started. I was like, already?
How?
And he sends me this timeline. I don't know if he used AI. I don't know how he put it together, but he sent me this thing that was basically like when all the brands launched, which was like the most amazing jumping off point that there is. So his name is Dan. He has a small company called Imperium Shaving where he makes like heirloom quality handmade razors, and they make them out of
cool.
wood and like hand mixed resin, and it's just a really cool company. So be sure to
awesome.
check them out on imperiumshaving.com. And then in our Discord, Viv C started one too, so she combined Dan's and hers together, and her and Aaron Powell, and now it's open to everybody, is helping us put it together. So it's literally like my dream to have this. It's like a village is helping us put it together, so I just want to say thank you guys for that. And then I want to give one last very shout out before I do the Freaks of the Week to Charlotte. Charlotte is a little 10-year-old girl that listens to our show.
No.
And for the past several weeks, she has been doing the Insta Egg with her mom. And her mom, Melissa, and Melissa wrote me this week when she guest hostess, she's like, hostess, easy, says my 10-year-old. And I was like, then she's like, I've been having a lot of fun doing the Insta Eggs with my daughter this last month. And I was like, oh my God, what's your daughter's name? So a shout out to Charlotte and Melissa. Thank you for listening to the show. I love that the little puzzles are giving you a silly little thing to do on Wednesdays together. And congratulations on Charlotte, because not everyone got hostess.
Okay.
A lot of people thought Little Debbie. And I was like, you're dumb. But then I looked at Little Debbie and they also have the squiggle. So I take it back. You have every right to think it was Little Debbie, even though the logo doesn't look anything like it and everything means something. All right. So now we got all that out of the way. Let's do our Freaks of the Week. If you are just joining us for the first time and don't know what a Freak of the Week is, our fans are called brand freaks. And the brand freaks like puzzles. So every Wednesday on our Instagram story, I post a little puzzle that they can solve and figure out what our brand is going to be that week. If they get that puzzle correct, I'm going to send them a cute little freak badge, which is just a picture letting them know that they got it right. And I'm going to add their name to the wheel of freaks. I'm going to spin that wheel 5 times, and those will be our freaks of the week. So the following people went through all of those steps. They endured, they lasted, they solved, they used their brain, their bodies, their brawn, and these are our freaks of the week. Derek Ender Lee, Vanessa Roy, Alex Cash, Adam, just lowercase ADAM with a space between every letter, also known as Burger Krang, and Sam Cohen. Congratulations. I really appreciate you guys playing the Insta Egg. If you haven't done it yet, check it out. Like I said, every Wednesday around 11 o'clock Pacific time, I post it, and you have all day to guess and figure out what it is to get your name on the wheel. And then while you're there, check out our Instagram feed. We post stuff every week that just gives you more insight into the podcast. We do little supplemental packages where you get to see the pictures of the people we talk about in each episode. You get to see if we think they're hot or not. You get to see vintage advertising and old this and that and whatever we feel like pulling. So it's a nice supplemental to the show. So check out our Instagram.
While we're giving shout outs, I'd like to shout out a lovely listener who left us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. We have Trevelations, who said, review to smooth the stew. Get Me Peter Dukes, which I had to look it up. That's the guy who invented the pumpkin spice latte. I had forgotten. He says, love this podcast. I was immediately hooked by Jon and Marissa's effervescent chemistry. I worked my way through the back catalog so quickly that I had to sign up for the Patreon. If you're a fan, I highly recommend subscribing to Off Brand for the ad-free eps and endless quirky digressions. Wow, this guy is writing our commercial.
Yeah.
As a certified brandy brand freak and a newly anointed freak of the week, you can take my word for it. My only gripe is that Marissa's mom hasn't made an official appearance on the pod yet.
Oh, boy. You know what? If she hears us, hears this, and asks us about
Yes.
it, we'll consider doing a phone call with her.
We will have to be drinking her signature cocktail, her twist on the White Russian, the Bobo, which instead of vodka, Kahlua, and milk is vodka, Kahlua, and Baileys.
Be sure to check out the Baileys episode 10 episodes back.
I feel like we're in Baileys season.
Oh my gosh, I'm ready for a pumpkin spice Baileys. Okay.
Okay, now we're talking. Check out our Instagram at On Brand, TikTok at On Brand the Podcast, subreddit On Brand the Podcast, YouTube. Watch us there, Patreon, subscribe to more. You know where to find us. Just Google it, you'll find it. And with that, we'll be back next week with an all new episode.
And remember, we may go off topic, but we'll always be on brand.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
On brand.